What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Everyone, y'all know what it is. It's me, your boy Trey, and we tapped in, falling in, first formation Sunday this week. Sundays NFL Sunday Week 12 preview. You know it's me, Trey the Commiss. You got my man CC, the People's Coach. Uh, what's good this morning, Coach? What's good with you?
Man, I know we was just talking college behind the scenes, but before we get back into that whole Travis Hunter winning this thing, man, I want to say this, man. I don't know, people out there, man. I think this picking these games is rigged, man. Somehow, every time I think I got a good week by myself, Trey's find a way to win that week. I'm not trying. I'm not saying the man pencil whooping is over there, people, but I'm saying, I, I had a good week. I had a good week.
You did. But it's like I sit back and I be looking right, and what end up walking up is although you had a good week and you was running because you separated like you would have won a week or we would have tied had you had not went with Dallas. That's one of
Right.
your yeah. So that would have set the tone because we everyone else went with Houston. Additionally, in which we'll see when we get ready to get into the picks, it was another one in which helped you out as well. Or if you would have went that way, so it's just one of those things when and I for a second I was like, oh man, I had to look like, oh, this ain't looking good. Like San Francisco losing. I was like, oh my goodness. Because for a second, I thought I was about to rattle off another undefeated week. And I mean, it's a 14-0, but it ain't end out that way. But we're definitely going to take a look at that and probably go over it a little more. One thing I will say is that you like the majority of this season. Uh, you have been saying that Bishop is the person for you to catch. And now that is true. He is the person for you to catch because he is closer to you than he is. So so yes, he is the person to catch you. So
Oh, look at the shots.
so
Look
that's
at
what
the
happened.
shots.
So just like
All right.
CC,
What we got? 7 weeks left? Seven?
6 weeks because this is week 12. So 5 weeks. 5 weeks, including this week as well. So one of the things, like we was just talking about, as saying Bishop comes in, I still believe, and I think it's other people who are starting to believe that as well, right? That Genty could potentially walk away with this. I continue to look at it, right? Like, yes, Travis Hunter did what? He had 2 touchdowns, 8 receptions, and then he had 7 tackles and a breakup on defense. As I continue to look at it, he is more valuable to them as a offensive player than he is as a defensive player. It just so happens he plays defense. Like he's not doing anything exceptional as a defensive player. He's getting tackles. If anyone goes to the ball, you're going to get the tackle. So yes, he's collecting tackles. The only thing that's benefiting him is the fact that he's considered a two-way player, and there hasn't been any huge two-way players since Adoree Jackson.
Man, the guy has got burnt once this season, and that was like last week. The guy got burnt once this season, man. Like the guy, he play a lockdown corner, man. It's lockdown. If they don't throw the
He's
ball
locked
your
down.
way, he lockdown.
This guy is
He
not.
got burnt one time.
It's,
That's what I'm
it's
saying. The difference
and then
is he's
last
a lockdown corner and a great receiver, man. I've just never seen that combination. Uh, only thing I'm
this,
not seeing is him returning. Hey, if he started returning kicks, it'll be over. He returned punt.
so what we get what we have to guarantee is last week y'all's I can't even get it out. Last week y'all's argument was that where he plays at and what his team is doing. Currently his team is looking at being in a bowl game and that's it. On the other side of it, if I was to make an argument, Genty currently in the Mountain West is looking at playing in his division, his conference championship game, which in terms he's also going to be in the CFP, which in terms is not that of the quote unquote Heisman Trophy winner, in which the and then not to
So,
even mention
Trey, let me ask you a question. How
yes,
many yards would he get against Penn State? against that Penn State defense. Like,
We don't
because that's
know.
gonna be one of the teams in that playoff
True
thing.
that.
Ooh, what is he gonna? You know what I'm saying? What is he gonna
With
do
his Hulk Hogan,
somebody
his Hulk
like
Hogan
that?
impersonation. Like,
You
so
feel
true that. That's to be
Damn, I'm glad somebody over here talk with some sense, man. See,
that should
this,
be seen.
this dude, he's
But look,
talking about GT as though he's doing this against the Alabamas, against the Georgias,
That's
against
what
the
I'm
Tennessee.
saying.
You're not.
no, hold up.
He's
You
doing
just see what he
it
did?
against
You
garbage
just see what Bishop
teams.
did? He set up and said Alabama. He said Alabama because his players just did that against Alabama on this past
weekend that no one has done in over 13 years. Alabama has not scored.
Y'all gotta stay woke. Y'all gotta stay woke. Y'all gotta stay woke when y'all see.
But look, I'm just saying though.
But I understand that. True that. I get that. But Jinty, so pick game, right?
Come on, man.
Pick game, right? So true enough, y'all just said, is he going to do that against Penn State? USC's USC's running back Woody Marks did that against Penn State, and Jinty is a better running back.
No, this is
but
not.
He had 100 yards.
Well, we need you to understand. CC saying it can't. What CC
I get what he's saying. He's saying that
he's not saying it can't be. No, what he's saying is it can't be. It's not saying
and
it can't be.
Boise State do it? Yeah,
can he do it though?
Yeah,
somebody else gonna do it. It happens. It's gonna happen.
That's what I'm saying. I believe.
But the fact of the matter is, can Jinty do that? Can Jinty do it against a powerhouse school? Can he do it against a powerhouse school?
We're gonna see.
It's yet to be determined. It's yet to be.
I gotta see real soon.
Yes, it's yet to be determined.
I gotta see.
He put up 169 yards last night
against
who they played last night. They played
against who?
That's the problem. Yeah, if you got to sit there and really think about what the hell they played, that means that's a problem.
Oh wait, let me.
He put some 169 up against who they played last night. Wyoming.
Oh, wow.
Wyoming.
Yeah. Put a 169 against Wyoming. Next week he played against Oregon State.
Ooh.
Yeah. See, this is the thing. This is the thing. Jinty ain't doing stuff. Jinty ain't doing stuff like the Adrian Petersons, the Saquon Barkleys, the Ezekiel Elliott's, who were running backs who did it against
right?
Other teams.
I'm gonna write it off.
He's doing it against the Mountain West.
What?
Come
game. I'm gonna rattle off who they have played so far. Right? They played Georgia Southern.
Nobody.
Don't do that because we know.
Nobody.
Oh, bro, don't do that because you know all the teams. Come on, you know all the teams play. Don't do that because you know all the teams play a player like that. So don't do that. USC has a team like that. Or Texas has a team like that. Oklahoma, so don't do that. We don't.
Hold on, I'm not. Listen, I got that. We all got to trash trap game. I get that, but you could have left Georgia Southern off.
They play. I'm just giving you their record.
Okay, listen. Okay,
they play Portland State.
Nobody. Portland State.
They play Washington. They play Washington State.
Okay,
they play Utah State. They play Hawaii. They play UNLV. They play San Diego State. They play Nevada. They play San Jose State. They play Wyoming. And let's not forget the only loss they have this year came against Oregon, who was then they lost to them 37-34. So you can tell me.
Okay, out of all of that, outside of Oregon, who else they played in the top 25?
Exactly. Come on, Hawaii, man.
but that's no different from USC having to play who they had to play last year. These are people in their conference.
But what I'm saying is, if you go to if you go to compare a guy about winning in the Heisman Trophy, when you look at the Barry Sanders, the Herschel Walkers, the Adrian Petersons, the Ezekiel Elliott's, the Saquon Mark, all those guys that won Heisman as a running back played power conference teams.
Jinty put up 192 yards and 3 touchdowns against Oregon.
Oregon has never been a defensive powerhouse.
Oregon is the number one. You telling me they're winning? You telling me their offense is holding them at number one?
Oregon is the only team left to be expected.
We know their offense holding them down.
That's the only thing that's holding them down. We know Oregon. Well, I'll tell you right now. I'm gonna be the first to put it out. Oregon is not winning the national championship.
No,
they're not. Their defense is not not good enough to win a national championship. They're not. Now, if they win, you know what it's going to be because Oregon outscored whoever the hell they go play in the national championship if they make it.
They got to have the fastest team.
And that's all Oregon has ever had is a faster team. That's Oregon's. That's their bread and butter, having more speed than any other team. Yeah, having speed more than any other team. Yeah, that's it. But when it comes defensively, Oregon ain't that team. They never been that team defensively. Never. That's why they ain't never.
Last year they was good, and they played against who was that? Where did Penix Jr. play or whatever? They struggled.
Washington State.
They struggled because they couldn't play defense.
Right, they couldn't stop you.
You stopped them once,
Yeah, they couldn't stop them. And that's Oregon's issue. Oregon can't stop nobody. It's about putting up more points than Oregon. That's what you got to do to beat Oregon.
I'm saying is that when you look at it, for me, the only thing that benefits is my opinion. So what y'all telling me if Travis Hunter played one side of the ball, he would still be considered a Heisman Trophy winner.
No, what I'm saying is you can't. But you're going hypothetically. What I'm saying is that being that he plays both sides of the ball, and
that's what I'm saying. That's what gives him the edge.
Right.
He's exceptional.
That's enough. That's all he needs.
You know what? It's a wide receiver that no one's talking about in San Jose State. Last year, I get it. But what we're talking about, I get it. But so last year he was a quarterback. Mm-hmm. Not last year before he was a quarterback. He's only played 24 games as a wide receiver, and he leads the country. He's potentially going to snatch the triple crown because he leads the country in receiving, touchdowns, and receptions. Receiving yards, touchdowns, and receptions. That is Heisman Trophy winner, right? That he's a semifinals of the Biletnikoff. His name is Nick Nash, I think, like that.
I heard him.
He is the front runner. Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? That is Heisman Trophy win. He's putting up but they get knocked, you know what I'm saying? They get knocked because of where they play or who they play.
That part, bro.
He plays the same conference as Jim.
Hold on, but this is my thing, Trey. You act like you don't understand. Check this out. I know you understand, but I'm just saying, Trey, one of the GOAT of wide receivers is who?
Jerry Rice.
Where'd he come from?
Well, lower tier, Division 2, Division 3.
No, he came from HBCU, right?
Yeah, lower tier. So not the same, not Division 1.
Of all time. What we're saying is we're not saying that they're not talented individuals. We're not saying that they could probably come into the NFL and could possibly make some changes and be very lucrative to the team in which they go to. However, because of the fact that where they go into school at, they just not going to get the Heisman. Right. They're not. They don't play competition. It's no sight. Yeah.
Take the Biletnikoff and ride off into the first.
I can tell you. I get it, and I can, like I said, I'm just Team Genty for the
if that's the case, why didn't? If this the case, hold on, see, check this out. If this the case, why didn't the Red Bomber win the Heisman? Because he went back to back twice national championships over in South Dakota.
Because he plays Division 2. South Dakota's a Division 2 school. The Heisman was going to go. It's the Heisman is Gary because they continue to be a lower tier, but I mean they're competing in state, and that's what I
wanted to hear you say. That's what I wanted to hear you say. But that's what I wanted to hear you say. Lower tier.
It's a flawed system.
A lower tier, but because GT plays in a conference that's considered a lower tier.
Yeah, he's in a lower conference. Was considered because it's considered the other. It's not the Big Four. It's considered
not, it's not right. It's not.
But he's a Division 1 talent. He plays Division 1 ball, just like Division 1A ball. So it's like that's what I'm talking about. Like true enough. Like let's be honest. The Big 12 currently has 4 teams that are ranked in the top 25. Mm-hmm. Colorado's one of them. And then we was just talking about Arizona State is one, BYU is another, and Iowa State is another.
Yeah, it ain't Utah though, right?
No, not Utah.
I had Utah, man. I thought they
Not
was gonna come
Utah.
over here and show
That
out,
ain't
though. You know
Utah.
what I'm saying? I did. I
That
thought the
ain't.
Houston was gonna come over and show out, man.
And then, like you just said, the aforementioned Idaho State, who was in the Mountain West, I think has two teams ranked in the top 25. They're ranked in the top 25. So when you look at it is when in-state is they're both playing Division II talents. You know what I'm saying? In-state. It's just so happened, okay, you got 4 over here, then this is a difference. So when I look at it, I think it's fair game. Like I believe he said he's gonna say the Shador is gonna be a bust in the NFL.
Ooh.
I just think of it when I look at it.
I don't think so.
When I look at it,
happening.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, keep talking. Keep going. We can definitely discuss it. We can discuss it, but go ahead.
I just think that when you look at it, Genty has been putting it up. He's been doing it, and you know what I'm saying, and he's on a scale to where it should be like what they've been saying is that it's probably a 3, not to say anything about the other people, but it's a 3-man race in which, because Cam Ward lost 2 weeks ago, he might have taken himself out, and then people are starting to bring up Gabriel Dillon. Like, why isn't he being considered? Or he's one
of the top 3, top 5.
Yeah. Now, like what you said, top 5, but before then, he was the only player outside of Indiana before they lost this week. David Gillen is quarterbacking for the only undefeated team in the division, in Division I, as well as the number 1 team in the country. And he's being considered a top 5 as opposed to the top 3. But now he's probably in there. But I really believe that the race belongs to Genty and, as a default, Travis Hunter, because Travis Hunter, and the only reason the default is because Travis Hunter is a 2-way player that is exceptional on offense and is above average on defense. But if he was if he just played defense, he wouldn't be in this conversation. If he just played offense, he wouldn't be in this conversation.
What defensive player outside of Rod Woodson has done that?
That's what I was gonna say.
Like we know that it's an offensive. It's an offensive trophy. It's an offensive. It's an offensive accolade. 95% of the time it's going to a quarterback. 95% of the time it's going into a quarterback.
You know, like you said, Rod Woodson, but even Charles Woodson.
Charles Woodson. That's what I meant.
Charles Woodson was a 2-way player.
Right. But when was the last time we seen a Heisman hopeful on the defensive side of the ball?
Right. You just don't see these.
I mean, we've seen Heisman hopefuls on the defensive
we've
side
seen him, but I'm saying, being high up. I'm saying high in the top 5. In the top
the last
5.
one that we know of was Adoree Jackson, but he played for USC, who was lackluster. So they wasn't going to sit up and get that at that point. Had Adoree Jackson been playing for USC last year or year before, we might have sit up and been talking about the possibility of him or Caleb getting the Heisman Trophy. But because he played at USC,
you said he played with USC last year, right? Adoree Jackson?
No, he played like years, almost a decade ago. That's what I'm saying. He was the last renowned 2-way player before Travis Hunter, and that's basically what I'm saying, is that it's like the 2-way player is what's going to get you is a money maker if you can be that. And all you got to do is, like I said, Travis Hunter, he's came in, he was cornerback, right? He's excelling as the wide receiver. I don't know if it's because he's Shador's favorite target, but you know what I'm saying, you got to think the dude's 6'3", 6'4". He got Travis.
He ain't no 6'3", 6'4".
Travis got some height, but y'all can go ahead and tap in. Anthony was saying. I'm looking now. Y'all can go ahead and bring up what Anthony was talking about.
You saying Travis Hunter 6'3", 6'4"?
Yeah,
I don't think so. I think he like 6'1". I'm gonna find out though. I'm gonna let you know. I don't think what they got him. He's 6'1". He's 6'1". Yeah, mind you, they may have him listed at 6'3", but he's 6'1". I'm looking at it right now. He's 6'1". That's what I thought. I thought he was like the same height as you and I.
Look at Shador has benefited from Travis Hunter. When Travis Hunter and I haven't been on the field with him, man, he struggled a little bit.
It's his favorite receiver, CC.
Like you said, his favorite receiver.
He already holds
it's his favorite receiver.
You know what I mean? He struggled.
It's his favorite receiver. It's his favorite. It's his go-to target. And when he knows, that's the thing. Shador knows if he's in trouble, he could throw it over in Travis's area. And 9 times out of 10, it's in a jump ball. 50-50 ball is a 90-10 jump ball for Travis. 90% of the time, he gonna come down with it. So he knows that. You know what I'm saying? He knows that. And I feel like because they played, out there at Jackson State together, they have a camaraderie between the two of them that's just unmatched. You know what I'm saying? They a tandem without question. They're a tandem. They're a tandem to be reckoned with. And unfortunately, they probably won't be on the same team in the NFL. They probably gonna play against each other. He probably gonna play. I don't know what position, and which is going to be something a lot of people gonna be looking for. No. Listen, I don't know what position. Yeah, it's gonna be. Thank you, CC. It's gonna be very interesting on what Travis Hunter does for the combine if he chooses to go. What position is he planning on? Like, is he going out with the receivers?
If y'all was GMs, let's talk about it right now. If y'all were GMs right now and you were looking at drafting a particular player, what position are you looking at drafting Travis Hunter at?
Well, it depends on what team. For me, it depends on what team I am because it depends on what I need. If
You're Eagles.
Eagles, I'm definitely not looking at him as a wide receiver because my wide receiver core is good at Philly right now. I don't need a wide receiver. So I'm definitely looking at him as a DB. CC?
DB. But I like the idea of, I think that with the right team, he can do both. Like,
absolutely.
Let's just say hypothetically, he went to Kansas City, right?
Woo!
Then he the slot. They put him in the slot. They put
him worthy. Him worthy. You don't want them problems. Oh no.
And then on the offensive side of the ball, he in the slot again. You know what I'm saying? I would have him holding the slot receiver and him playing slot receiver. Like, see something like that. I can see that happening. Even like the Chargers or something. Like, he could be that. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. For my Cowboys, we need everything. Like, we need a cornerback. Like, our cornerbacks keep getting hurt. Like, we need a cornerback. Like, we, especially in different positions. But wide receiver for the Cowboys, yeah, it definitely wide receiver. If I'm talking just that,
he would be. In honesty, Travis Hunter has the potential to be just like his protege or his mentor. Yes, he does. To be a Deion Sanders, yes, he does. He has all the attributes to be the next Deion Sanders. He does. CC just said you're taking credit away from Travis Hunter because what he's not doing on defense. However, listen, I got you. But however, what CC made a great point was he doesn't have mad numbers on defense because they're afraid to throw that to his side. They don't want to throw. Did you see that breakup he had yesterday? He almost picked the ball up that was completely almost out of reach.
It was a game. How long is a game?
What do you mean? How long is the game?
How long is the game?
It's over 60 minutes.
60 minutes.
Yeah, give or
take. He had one breakup in 60 minutes.
How many times did they throw to his side? And count that.
I don't know.
Exactly. But you know about that one breakup. But you know about that one breakup. Guess what? I bet you that quarterback thought about when he threw that ball that time and it almost was picked. I bet you he rethought about throwing to that side again. I bet you that.
Yeah, his coach probably told him, "Hey man, why are you even testing this guy?" Like, don't
that part, bro. That part, bro. All you need is a presence. The fact of the matter that he's doing things that Deion was doing too when he was in college. That's the thing. Everybody loves Deion, but Deion can't hit. Deion scared to tackle. He didn't have to because his presence was enough. If he could get you to look to just one side of the field, he's doing enough. I don't give a fuck if he don't never throw the ball to my side. Guess what? I done did my damn job. But when you try me one goddamn time, guess what? Deion go into the house with that bitch and he high stepping 50 yards out. 50 yards out, he high stepping.
So is it a fair assessment, right? If it's a fair assessment, because I don't throw to your side of the field, is that because I believe that there's a mismatch on the other side of the field, and that's where my strength is to stay on that side of the field? Not saying that is you, like you might just be, yes, you might be a good corner or be a good defender, but you might have
who played on the other side of the Darrell Reeves in his prime and his defensive player of the year and all that. Like, who played on the other side of the ball from Darrell Reeves?
On Reeves Island. Opposite of Reevis Island. Yeah, opposite.
You don't know.
Right. Right.
That's not a bad
point.
So are y'all saying, because someone else I thought was a pretty good lockdown corner?
We can double on the other side.
You know who else I thought was a lockdown corner, which we're starting to see differently?
Who?
Sauce Gardner.
I'd never considered Sauce Gardner. I think they overhyped Sauce Gardner. I think they tried to put him as a lockdown. Yeah, I think they hyped him and they didn't give him opportunity to prove that he was that. That's what I think. in my personal opinion. I never saw Sauce Gardner as a lockdown. When everybody was talking about that, I was like, I don't know.
Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey is a lockdown. He's a lockdown.
Jalen Ramsey was. He was.
Well, put it like that. Okay, I give you that. He now where Jalen Ramsey was before. Yeah, he was. He was. Right. Agreed. And I was talking about was. I'm not talking about now. Yeah, I'm not talking about now. Yeah.
Jalen Ramsey was that. He was the truth.
Yes, he was the straight truth. Yeah, straight truth.
Like when he went to the Rams, he still had some games. He still had that game where he could just take over the game and lock down the start. But what I saw the transition for him was when he didn't want to tackle Debo. You know what I'm saying? Remember that, Trey? Remember that? Like him and Debo going head to head, and he didn't want to tackle Debo. That's when you knew it was over for Ramsey then, right? Like his career was changing then, because before that, hey, he would have gave him a run for his money, but he was getting a little bit older. Debo was a young dog coming in with all this energy and aggressiveness. Ramsey was like, I had better days. I seen better days, So now it becomes business decisions. I want to play a little bit longer, so I got to pick and choose. But other than that, I thought Ramsey was a lockdown corner for about 5-6 good years in that league, man.
Agreed.
Like,
Champ Bailey.
You ain't gonna last forever.
Champ Bailey was a lockdown.
Yeah, Champ Bailey was the truth, man. Like, just like Charles Woodson was the truth. Like,
Charles Woodson, but he's safety. He was a safety. Yeah,
he switched to safety though. Remember,
he did.
That's what allowed him to do. You go switch to longevity because he was starting to get exposed at corner.
Yeah, you could play longer.
Like, because who else was that? Like, if it wasn't for the simple fact that San Francisco already had good safeties in San Francisco, Richard Sherman probably would have switched to safety. I think he wanted to, but I mean, they had.
Sherman was a lockdown too.
Yeah, but at some point he got started getting exposed.
Yeah, Sherman wasn't people wouldn't throw the Sherman slide.
Like, what's his name? He only exposed him in the Super Bowl. Well, yeah, true that. Just like that's why Jason Sehorn was like one of the when we look at white players and stuff like that. Jason Sehorn was a good corner. Like, he, he won the Super Bowl at corner, but he started losing the steps. So what happened? They moved him to safety.
Yeah, because you have a few more years at a safety position.
Rod Woodson moved to safety at some point. Like, so yeah, we get it. You want to keep him in the fray. So it's like, okay. But so moving on, right? What do y'all think about this? What was y'all's take when you see that the New York Giants release Daniel Jones?
Shocked.
Yeah, I said, see, that's how organizations that had been pretty decent up until recent years, right? With different selections and different moves. That's how somebody up top ain't doing what. Come on, man. You got rid of Saquon for nothing. You know what I'm saying? You let Saquon leave.
You not only did you get rid of him, CC, you paid Jones, got rid of Saquon. Now you done got rid of Jones. Like,
now you got. That's what I'm saying. Now you got rid of the guy that you said I'm gonna put it all on his shoulders. We don't need Saquon. We paying this guy all this money, and now you done cut him. You done waived him. You done got rid of him. First you was gonna bench him. That wasn't gonna go over.
So do y'all think that? So do y'all think that's what it was? I think correct me if I'm wrong. They spun the block to pay Saquon, but Saquon has felt slighted at that point, and so he didn't want to take what they were trying to give them. He wanted what he wanted, and they had to let him go.
If they would have paid, they wouldn't be in this position right now. If they'd have paid Saquon, they still would have been competitive and had ways to.
I mean, yeah, true that. But let's keep it 100, right? Saquon for the first couple of years in New York wasn't there. It was Daniel Jones that was given. If they had any success, it was based on Daniel Jones. So why not play Daniel Jones in that sense, especially the quarterback? Like, saying, why not pay him first? Because he was the person that.
His highlight seasons, Trey, when they made the playoffs that 1 year, how did they do it? Because Saquon had been healthy, and he hadn't been healthy in a couple of years, right? But he was finally healthy, and they rolled him all the way to the playoffs. You feel what I'm saying? Then they got in the playoffs.
That was a playoff. True enough, that was a playoff season. But I'm saying prior to that, Daniel Jones was the only thing they had, and he was holding them down. So Saquon was not available. It was Daniel, even though they wasn't going to the playoffs, because it was Daniel. It was basically like what it is now. Like, at this point, we know what they're doing. They're tanking, right? We understand what they're doing. They're taking the season. Hence the reason why they went with their third string quarterback as opposed to their second string quarterback. when they released their first string quarterback that they just paid. So we understand what they're doing for the most part. But
in hopes to try and get word on the street is Shador. But go ahead.
Yeah. And it's double folded because DeVito was the fan favorite during that time. He went 4-3-1 or something like that, or
and that's another reason why he playing.
Yeah, trying to galvanize to get like the fan. So if he could string along a couple of wins, even if he could get 2 or 3 wins peppered in his last 6 or 7 games, the fan base is gonna be satisfied because it's gonna be like, well, this is what we DeVito, but you know what I'm saying, he's doing something for us. So I mean, that's what it is. I get it. If he can go and beat Philadelphia and Washington with them being top tier in the East, then it works. You know what I'm saying? It works. But like people were
funny how you throw Philadelphia out there. That was real
because they're the top tier in the NFC East. So I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Believe me, it has no shade. I don't do anything with shade. Like, but one of the things that came up was like they did this with Drew Lock, and Drew Lock they paid $5 million. They could have used that $5 million to pay Saquon. So it's like but at some point
it's biting them in the. It's definitely biting them in the ass right now. Yeah, New York is definitely shooting themselves in the foot. Pow, pow. For letting Saquon go.
I don't know if y'all saw that footage, but I saw that footage when they was doing the hard knock, the behind the closed door scene, where they was showing the guy showing the GM or whatever, and he was talking about that, whether Daniel Jones or Saquon, and he was like, well, he basically said Saquon out here. He was like, we not paying. He was like, the guy.
Yeah, the owner was in the room. And the owner's like, I don't want to let him go. He's like, the owner said, I don't want him to go to Philadelphia or Washington. And the owner was like, I don't want that. And he's like, where is he going? And he's like, and they thought Philadelphia was out. And he was like, it was like he was sick. Like he didn't want, that's what he didn't want. And of course, look what happened. So,
putting them in Madden, making that new Madden update with Saquon. Never. That's the cardinal rule, CC. That's the
division rival.
CC, that is the cardinal rule.
You ship his ass to Jacksonville.
Way out. You take his ass way out there, bro. You send his ass all the way out west. Yeah, you don't bring his ass. You don't let his ass stay in your division, especially in your division, so it can bite you in the ass later.
You send him to Vegas, boy. He in Vegas so fast. Saquon is a Raider so fast.
Oh, RIP game. So what I'm hearing from y'all guys.
That part.
So what I'm hearing from y'all is, like no matter what Philly or Dallas is offering, you don't care. You sitting in Saquon somewhere else. It don't make a difference what they're offering.
Bro, he might be in the arena league fucking with me. I wouldn't let him play. I wouldn't let him. He might be in the arena league. I'm not letting him do
playing for the Iowa.
Yeah. What? Ain't no way in hell, bro. Ain't no way in hell Saquon staying in. No, that's the cardinal rule.
I was like, the guy went to Philly? Well, man. Come on, man.
That's the cardinal rule, bro. Bro, that's me. That's the cardinal rules.
So okay. So now I see where Anthony was like, he said Daniel Jones' best fit is in Vikings and Raiders. Like me and CC was talking the other day, and you know what I'm on board with, honestly, especially when we're looking at the fact that Brock Purdy's injured. I would take him to San Francisco.
Well, me and CC know that your quarterback picks aren't that great.
Hold up. We just did the what's called. If I remember correctly, my quarterbacks came out more successful this last week on that trade. Cut trade than y'all's quarterbacks did. So my quarterback.
I didn't see the final. I didn't see what the final was because I know my quarterback did well.
It went total in points. My quarterback scored 90 points. Y'all scored under 90. That's all they need.
This is the type of stuff. But see, this is the type of stuff he do. See, we probably did score under 90, but we probably 88.9, 87.
No, I sent it in the thing. I posted.
No, you did.
Look at it.
No, I think you said something about mine was 60 something. I think I saw that, right?
Yeah, it was in chat. And yours ain't doing it.
It was in our chat. Let me look then. I didn't see that. But anywho, Anywho,
But
we know y'all can take Daniel Jones.
This is why I say, right? This is why I say this, right? It's basically the same.
He gonna outplay Purdy though. But go ahead.
No, he's not gonna outplay. The expectation is that he's not gonna outplay Purdy, but it's a safety blanket. Like like we was talking about Shanahan. He becomes a Daniels is a mobile quarterback.
But my thing is this, first fellas, is Daniel Jones even a starter? On any other team? CC, is Daniel Jones a starter on any other team?
The Raiders, yeah.
That's about it, huh?
It's a team.
That's about it.
Because that's about it. Daniel about it. So
he could probably go down there and take what's his name job too, man. Bryce Young job.
In Carolina,
yeah. Like
if you was to go through the gauntlet, so basically what you have is you have the same situation that you had that Pittsburgh had. They was able to pick up Russell Wilson for a measly whatever amount of money because the other team has to pay him.
Well, a hot dog and 2 potato chips. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? So you bring in is on a 1-year deal. San Francisco, when you look at Brock Purdy's currently not playing today. So I already have I'm trying to the only reason I have this shirt on today is because I'm trying to use it as a buffer for me not to pick Green Bay when we come down to our picks because there's no Brock Purdy. There's no Bosa, which allowed Seattle to win last week because it wasn't no pressure from the opposite side. There's and we might not have Trent Williams. So I'm trying to sit up and hold the line and pull a CC.
Don't hold the line. Pick your goddamn team. Don't hold the line. Pick your team. Rep your team, damn it. Don't hold the line. Rep your damn team.
No.
Rep your team. Rep your team. CC done had more issues than any team on this earth, and he's still rocking with them goddamn cows.
Ain't got no.
So
CC and them got motherfucking Jerry Jones playing quarterback. He's still rocking with them.
So when I look at that, I take in consideration like, yo, Daniel Jones might not be a bad pickup in the system. Like next week we play against the Buffalo Bills, right?
Mm-hmm. Which is gonna be a problem.
Going to be a problem. And they talk about Brock Purdy might not be able to play next week.
What's wrong with Brock? What happened?
Shoulder injury.
Throwing shoulder?
Yes, right shoulder.
The same shoulder, right? Is it the same shoulder?
Yeah.
Same shoulder from the NFC Championship game, right?
Oh, the one we knocked him out.
Elbow, but it's the same. It's the same arm.
Same arm. Oh, okay.
His throwing shoulder. So it's so that's what he has. So bringing in a Daniel Jones potentially to sit up and slide something like he's also a mobile quarterback in state. So it's like they might be able to lock something. Like he might not like Saquon Barkley in his tweet. Remember he said that, hey, just like for me, it wasn't the right spot. Meg, I wish you the same. So with that being said, is it the Giants? Is that what is it the Giants system? Like people talk about Chicago, is it the Giants system?
So the organization, and I'm taking this to CC, and I get your question too. But what have we really? Okay, we've seen Daniel Jones take them to the playoffs. We've seen it. Mm-hmm. We have seen that in Daniel Jones. So is that to say he's a talent? It's yet to be determined. I don't know. We can't say he doesn't have a plethora of weapons.
Correct.
Out there in New York. That's fair to say, right? We could say he doesn't have the weapons.
Oh, he had Saquon.
At one point, all he had was Saquon. At one point, yes. So he could possibly depending on where the Daniel Jones end up, what team is going to determine whether or not he is a true NFL quarterback. In my opinion.
I thought he was better at play action, right? Because he had Saquon. I thought his play action game was on point. It gave him time to assess the field. Anytime they go spread backfield and stuff, he struggles. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you ain't got a running back alongside of him back there, he struggled mightily with his play and his choices. He could run the rock. I felt like Dayball was a decent coach. I feel like Dayball is a decent coach. I just feel like Daniel Jones ain't the guy to run that complicated system that you're trying to run. You know what I'm saying? When you had it simple, Saquon, you either faking it to Saquon or you giving it to Saquon, and every now and then you can throw 5 or 6 passes to Saquon. Some games maybe even 10. You know, either way, that was a big part of the offense. And without that, what do you leave the guy with? Like you got no tight end to go to. the receivers, even though what's his name, Nailers, whatever. He's
Neighbors,
trying, but he ain't there yet.
Malik
You know what I
Neighbors.
mean?
Neighbors,
Neighbors
yeah.
ain't there. Yeah, he ain't there yet, right?
But
So he
to
got too
answer
much
this
on
question,
Daniel Jones' shoulders.
right? And just to answer Anthony's question, right? You say this about Daniel Jones, right? He's no longer in New York, but we was just saying the same thing about Justin Fields. And when we put Justin Fields' feet to the fire and gave him an opportunity to do what we thought he could do, he shit the pot because Russell Wilson came around with that same offensive line that Justin Fields has got with the same and has ran with it since. And they just finally lost their first game, the last game. So could Daniel Jones be in that same situation? Like I said, yet to be determined. He could follow the same type of steps in which Justin Fields, who we now see it wasn't Chicago. Don't get me wrong. Chicago still having the same problems because Caleb is still fucking running for his life out there in Chicago. However, Justin now with an offensive line still is having the same issues. So it ain't nobody. It's Justin now. So we have to see, is it Daniel?
We have to see about Daniel Jones. Is it really him or I feel that because that's true. Like I gave Justin Fields so much
Me
credit.
too.
Said, man,
Me too.
better than that. And then I saw Russell Wilson come in and dropping dimes on his shot. And I'm like,
bro. I was the same way. Like, bruh.
You can't get that up there to Pickens. What are you doing?
Right. Like, I'm thinking this.
Right, I'm always open on my face. Is that why?
Right. Like, bruh, CC.
With Wilson.
Right. I'm saying the same thing. I was like, I was rooting for Justin. I'm like, yeah, he going to another team. Now he in Pittsburgh. Justin finished shine. He finished show you why he came out of Ohio State, blah, blah. Justin, bro, you look exactly like you did in Chicago. And then here comes Russell, who's 20 years your senior, and he out here throwing this ball like it ain't nothing. Like, oh, you open?
Like it ain't nothing.
Oh, you open too? Pick, go get it. Like, really, Justin, what are you doing?
That's what I was like, what are you doing? You had that weapon the whole time.
The whole time, and you ain't hitting him?
You ain't done that. For real. Like, I was like, yeah.
So Daniel Jones could be in that same predicament, man. In my opinion, he could be in that same predicament. We're gonna see.
We'll see if he gets somewhere where he has weapons, where he has weapons, or even something better, an upgrade, like anywhere.
Something better, an upgrade.
Right.
Yeah, going like everyone was saying, going to the Raiders isn't an upgrade because they don't.
It is not. I was about to say, or Carolina. They're not considered a true upgrade. If he go to Carolina or the Raiders, that's not really putting them in a better situation, honestly.
That's like, but like you said, the two that are front runners, the Ravens ain't even that. But like I said, I would think for this year, the 49ers, the Vikings, potentially, if Darnold was to go down, the Vikings, or who else? It might be one more out there.
Man, the Colts.
Jacksonville.
I think the Colts could pick them up, and that might be a difference in what they got going because they because they about to play themselves out of the picture completely here in a minute, and I think maybe Daniel Jones could do something else.
Denver,
so he's not going to take over both because he's doing exactly what they need, but he probably would be a complimentary backup to if he was to go down. So it's a few out there, in my opinion. Like if he wants to be somewhere where he know he's probably going to start without a doubt, then yes, he might want to go to Carolina,
the Raiders
or something like that to play so he can get some time so he can be like, okay, this is potentially where I'm going to be at next year. They'll re-sign me or we'll figure something out because he's going to be owed that money from New York. So it's one of those two places. But if he wants to, like you said, he wants to go to a contender right now, San Francisco, if he can help turn them back around before they get too far gone, because there's a possibility they lose this game this week. Jacksonville is probably out of it. The Colts, like I just said, is a possibility. And here's
another team when you say risk assessment, man. The Dolphins, right? Like
that's another one.
You out of the playoff picture. You can rest Tua up for a fresh season. You know what I'm saying?
No more concussions, no more chances at concussions, all of that. Yeah.
No more chances. Let that young man get all the way.
But you know what? Before we get into these picks, because I'm getting ready to go. I got tickets to go see Wicked. I hope it's going to be a good movie.
I went to see it last night.
Was it good?
It was pretty good. It wasn't bad.
1 to 5.
1 to 5, 5 being the best.
Yeah.
Highly low 4.
A low 4. Okay.
Low 4.
So I wanted to ask this question, which I forgot because we got if Daniel Jones, like we said, Brock Purdy's out, right? If Daniel Jones went to San Francisco and became effective.
Why does this dude always try to send somebody to San Francisco, CT? Every player that comes available, this dude want to send him to San Francisco. Go ahead. CC, don't he do that every time? Every time somebody goes to San Francisco, so it's always a hypothetical. Hypothetical. If he go to San Francisco,
but say he goes to San Francisco, right? Because this is it's something we talked about. It actually matches, honestly. If he was to go to San Francisco,
who's y'all back up to Purdy?
Some guy named Allen starting today.
Yeah, his name is Purdy. He's a veteran. If he was to go into San Francisco and start winning, if he's on a win streak, do you implement Brock Purdy back again?
Yeah, bro. You putting
in. You got to bring Brock Purdy back.
No, hold on, but CC, this is the same. He done the same scenario. When it was oh boy.
Let me stop.
And Brock Purdy came in. Brock Purdy came in. I corrected.
I bring back. Oh, see, we bring back Daniel Jones. I'm saying if Daniel Jones was to take him, a la what what Foles did to the Philadelphia Eagles. If Brock comes in, if Daniel Jones goes to San Francisco and do what Foles did, do you
win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, or even take them to the Super Bowl. Let's be honest, or get them into the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
What is the outlook for the next year? Taking consideration this, right? We already know they got to pay. You already know they got to pay Brock to make him the most set the market.
CC, this what you're not gonna do, Trey. Answer your own question, because when that was the scenario when y'all had Trey Lance and Brock Purdy, what was your answer? Oh, you gotta play. We gotta play. We gotta play.
It was different. That's why I said at this point, Brock hasn't been played. At this point, Brock hasn't been paid yet, and Daniels is going to only be to us for like $1 million. So it's the same thing. There's no one. It's like at this point, you got to make a determination who you're going to take.
This is your team. What
Daniels is 27 years old. Brock Purdy is what 23.
It's your team. What would you do? What is it? Answer your own question first before you ask us. This is your team. You bringing in Daniel Jones. He does something similar to what Nick Foles does. At least takes him to the Super Bowl. What do you do?
We're gonna keep Brock.
You gonna keep? Are you starting Brock? Are you leaving Daniel Jones to come in? Or is it open?
Daniel Jones. If Daniel Jones do that, he's going to be highly sought on the market. So there's no way that he's going to be able to stay in San Francisco. He wouldn't be able to stay with the team. So you got to let him walk because both of them are basically up for contracts. Brock Purdy's going to get an extension. His rookie is going now. He's off his rookie. He's off his last year. So so he's off his rookie contract. So now the determination is: do we keep Brock and we sign, and then, or do we go with Daniel Jones? And now we have to let Brock walk because
here's my wrinkle. Brock gone. If something like that happened and Daniel Jones take him to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl, Brock gone.
Nah, bro.
Only way Brock stay is if they don't win the Super Bowl. I'm serious. Yo, how many quarterbacks have you had in the recent years that y'all have taken and y'all tried to win the Super Bowl? Garoppolo's. Y'all have tried to
Garoppolo, Kaepernick,
and then you finally found the one that win. You better stick with that one. You better stick with that one.
I think we keep Brock because of the youth, and we know what Brock has, and then you hope
Brock
that's
going to be. But he ain't won. But Brock is good.
You're right. But then you get Daniel. Yeah, we're gonna let Daniel walks.
I'm just saying, if he won, you got to at least. You got to at least be like, hey,
I don't know. That's hard. I don't know. I really don't know. I would have to, for me, for me to make that determination, I would have to.
Y'all let Foles go to next year.
No, we didn't.
Y'all didn't he go to next year? Did he go to? He went to didn't he go to Jacksonville?
No, not that Nick. Not that following season. No, we didn't get rid of Nick Foles. We tried. Remember, we won the Super Bowl. We tried to come back with old boy Redhead. And Wentz. We tried to come back with Wentz. Which Wentz is in Kansas City now.
Yes, he is. He's a backup in Kansas City.
Yeah, he's in Kansas City now. So he over there loving it.
Yeah.
And ain't did nothing. Fooling around and get another ring and ain't did nothing over there in Kansas City. Ain't even seen the field one time. But either way, yeah. So we tried Wentz again. I think it went down again with another injury. Nick Foles came back, but we didn't make it that year. And then that following year, we got rid of Nick and tried to stay with
So
Wentz.
remember Nick almost did it again. I think that was the game in Chicago, right? They lost the game in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
No, they beat Chicago. They beat Chicago and lost the next week, right?
Next week, yeah.
Field goal.
Yeah.
Chicago missed that field goal.
Yep. Yeah. I would personally have to see how Daniel Jones looked with the San Francisco team.
Yeah.
I would want to see. I would have to see how does he look like a Nick Foles did once he came into that fold for the Eagles. Does he look?
Like or does he look like Purdy from the
win? Or like the season? Yes.
So, like I said,
but you did make a great point, which is very key. 27-year-old and a 23-year-old.
Yeah,
you gotta that plays a huge factor. That plays a huge factor.
I just saw that question about still drafting Sanders in the top 5 if you're the Raiders. You got no choice but to get a young quarterback in there. Like, everything else you done tried not working. I mean,
but they still, you know what? But technically, they could still sign Daniel. If that was the case in that scenario, they could still sign Daniel Jones and draft Shador and let
Shador. You can still, that's what I'm saying. You can still make that move, and yes, I would still make that move.
Absolutely.
So, like I said, get into the picks from this. That's for this week, of course. As you look from last week, we had the situation where, as I was saying at the top of the hours, Bishop wasn't on. CC said he was chasing you, in which, yes, he is chasing you technically. So you know what I'm saying?
He's not chasing. He's chasing us because you act like you. Yes. Oh, absolutely.
You know what? I want to let you know that I'm gonna say it right here, right now. I got track shoes on. I got track shoes on.
With 5 weeks left, you are not. You act like you are not chasing bro.
I got track shoes on.
And this is the thing.
You know what? I'm not going to even sprint.
Almost picked Cleveland on Thursday night. I had Cleveland in mind. I had Cleveland in mind. I did. I had Cleveland in mind. I said I should be Cleveland, and I didn't go with my gut like I should have.
So all you gotta do, CC, all you gotta do is be faster than this. All you gotta do is be faster than
CC is 10 picks behind me.
CC, all you gotta do is be faster than
3.
Man.
3 picks behind me.
You just gotta be faster than the second man, CC. Okay. That's all you gotta do is be faster than
right now.
You hope.
I'm good. Like I learned from what was that, week 6? I learned from week 6 because then you see you and CC. So I'm good. Until
the picks go. Let's go.
That's why I'm very sure I'm so much considering picking Green Bay today. So
quit talking us to death. Quit talking us to death. Let go. Talking us to death. Let go.
I feel you, man.
Yeah, 10 picks. Would have to.
I
would have to pick completely wrong on all my picks for CC to get me. And completely wrong on all my picks. My picks for CC to get me.
I gotta do is get a couple of these.
That Dallas pick, bro.
Weeks, man. Hey, guess what? If CC had not picked Dallas every season, he'd be in this.
He would have tied, or he would have tied.
Every week, he picking them damn Cowboys.
and that New England pick, that Dallas and New England pick, like he would have won.
Yes, he would be in this thing if he had picked Dallas every week. He in this thing. He in this thing. Mm-hmm.
So getting into this week's games, of course. Like Bishop said at the beginning, we went and picked. Of course, we didn't have a show Thursday, but we did back our picks, and all of us picked Pittsburgh. Which,
unfortunately, God dang it,
was the snow? Bishop, I asked. The snow?
No, it wasn't the snow because both of them, Pittsburgh and Cleveland, they both they used to that. That's nothing new, and it ain't like one team had an advantage. It has nothing to do with that. It's just the fact of the matter. Jameis Jameis Winston, man, that dude is an inspiring type guy, man. That dude, when he speak, bro, he make you listen to what the hell he's saying.
No matter what he's saying.
And
like
he threw 2 picks. What he threw?
Like,
2?
what?
Didn't he throw? What he threw? 2 picks? 2, 3, something like that. And so when it comes to like Jameis,
then he had
like
that sack
Jameis,
fumble in the end that with Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I mean, and Jameis has got that dog in him. He's got that dog that he wants to win. Like, despite their record or whatever, he's still fighting no matter what, man. And them boys just played. They played enough. They played a good enough game to get the dub. It is what it is.
So first one we started off with in the early window. Of course, it's a plethora of injuries and stuff that's going to really dictate. You have some players coming back, so it's really going to be dictated. The first one, of course, the Minnesota Vikings will be at Soldier Field playing against the Chicago Bears, in which Chicago's probably going to be without Keenan Allen, but Chicago's 4-6, 4-2 at home. Vikings are 4-1 away, so is a matchup, potentially is a division game. Vikings, Bears, CC, who you got?
Oh man, it's one of those divisional things, but I'm gonna take the Vikings. I'm gonna say the Vikings gonna go ahead and handle their business against the Chicago Bears
today. In this one, I'm going to agree. I would usually think that Chicago might be able to pull one out being home, but we just have seen a lackluster from Caleb Williams, although he did almost pull one out last week and was victorious. But I'm going with Minnesota as well. Who you got?
Come on, man. I'm definitely not going with Caleb. Caleb definitely he's not doing he's doing exactly what I expected him to do coming in Chicago. And even though they playing in Chicago, I just don't see Caleb getting it done against the Vikings. The Vikings, they started off well this season, and now they've lost a couple of games under their belt, but I still think they bounce back and get a road win against the Chicago Bears.
What are you talking about? He from USC in Oklahoma.
He from USC. He ain't from us. He from USC.
Next up, the Colts and the Lions. 9-1 Lions, 5-0 away, are traveling away to the Colts, who are 3-2 at home, but 5-6 overall. Richardson back at the helm. Does this make a difference? Who you going with, Lions or the Colts?
Man, ain't nobody betting against them Lions, man. Ain't no way in hell you bet against them Lions, especially against the Colts. I mean, I get Anthony Richardson back. They had a close game last week. They pulled off a win versus the Jets, 28-27, and the Jets are having problems. Yeah, they barely beat the Jets. It was down to the last little bit. So there's no way I see the Colts taking the dub, even though they playing at home in Indianapolis. I gotta go with that tandem in the backfield. Oh my God! Ooh, thunder and lightning. Ooh, it's a problem for the Colts.
Bro, Jahmyr Gibbs is so fast.
Yeah.
That boy's
different level of speed, right?
That boy's the truth. That boy's the truth.
He moves to me like Lamar Jackson or similar, man. That video game, one step gone,
Yeah.
like almost
like
your body.
If he hit the corner, he hit the corner on you. If he made that corner, he made the corner.
There's no one to hit him once he turn that corner, it's over. Or you can't make his direction. Once
you ain't got the angle. Yeah, if you ain't got the angle to try and catch him, you can cancel Christmas. He gonna outrun you.
So it's safe to say that's great.
Give me the Lions too. Give me the Lions in that one. I mean, that's against the Colts. It's just too much uphill battle for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, I start this one off. The Patriots will be traveling to Miami to take on Tua and the Dolphins. Tua, I definitely need him to show up this week because without Brock Purdy, I have Tua and he's my starter in fantasy. And some of my fantasy games are pretty close. You know what I'm saying? So I need these dubs and stuff like that. I think I paid Bishop actually this week in first.
So
I need this win because currently I'm holding up my division. He's second in his division. So this is going to probably be going to set us. It can knock me off.
But I need you to remember, Trey. Remember my draft grade before this. When I remember I showed you what my draft grade.
You
remember what I told you though? Remember what I said? Oh, F, my draft grade F on both of them. Remember? But look at my record. I said,
you're doing both of them.
Don't tell me
in our fraternity one, you ain't too hot, but but in this one, you're doing. But in any case, I'm going to go with Miami. I'm taking Tua in this 3-8 Patriots. Their records are similarly the same. It's a division game. I'm gonna go with Miami. CC, you spinning the block on Miami again?
Oh man, I took Miami last week. And me and them Patriots, man, we been back and forth.
That's his Achilles heel right there. Them damn Patriots and Cowboys. Patriots and Cowboys.
I'm gonna take the Dolphins to win this. It's gonna be close though. It won't be a blowout. It's gonna be close.
Go.
And they playing in Miami. Tua Tagovailoa is gonna get a dub for them, man. Right now they trying. I feel like the Dolphins are trying to save face. So I think I don't see the Patriots coming in there and getting a dub in Miami.
All right, go coming back to you, Tampa Bay and New York. As we know, Tampa Bay is welcoming back Mike James. Not Mike James.
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans, he's welcome back. He's expected to play. He's back. It's going to be unfortunate because he's probably not going to get 1,000 yards receiving this year. His first time not getting 1,000 yards in his career. But I don't know. He might turn up this week because
big game,
who we just talked about are going to be
facing Daniel Jones.
Yeah. So who you got, TB or NY?
Come on, man. You know I got to go with Baker, shake or bake. I got to go with shake and bake. And he got his key wide receiver back in Mike Evans. Oh man, them two. That's a tandem right there. Them boys finna act the dog out there in New York. But the weather gonna be probably play a little bit of a factor. But I still think Baker Mayfield gonna go on the road and get a win now that he got his key player back. So yeah, I'm taking Tampa Bay. Them Bucks. Let's go Bucks.
Okay, next up, the Dallas Cowboys.
Hold on, who did y'all pick? Neither one of y'all said.
I said Tampa. Oh, I got Tampa Bay. I'm sorry.
No, you said I picked first, and you didn't say nothing.
You're right.
I'm going back to you, but I'm taking Tampa in that game.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was my fault. I'm tripping. I just think that was automatic. Like everyone was gonna clean sweep that. Now, next up, the Washington Commanders at 7-4 hosting the Dallas Cowboys. 3-2 in the conference. However, 3-7 in 3-7.
Everybody know why we laughing. Everybody looking at CC. Everybody looking at CC.
I started off. I would start it off, and then I go to you, Bishop, and then we could give CC a little time to marinate on the conference of the thought.
Okay.
So first off, I'm going to, of course, I'm going with the Commanders. We have noticed it's a division game, so you kind of can see how it can be. It could go differently, but however, it still is kind of hard fought. I'm going with the Commanders. Bishop, who you got?
Dang. Man, I gotta go. I'm gonna go with Washington. They at home, man. I think I still believe in Jalen Daniels. I think he gonna do what he got to do. I know they took a major L against us, but I think they bounced back. I just don't think their quarterback is for Dallas gonna make it happen. But let's see, we'll see. But give me them Commanders.
CC,
you already know. Brady down. You already know.
I can't do it, man. Come on, Cowboys, man. I can't say I'm going with the Commanders, the Eagles, or the Giants when they playing against my Cowboys. I just can't do it. Sorry,
you already knew. Yeah, you knew it.
How hard fan, baby.
That's what you're supposed to do, though, CC. That's what you're supposed to do, dog. That's what you're supposed to ride or die. You're supposed to ride. No, you're supposed to ride or die with your squad. Just like all these college clubs, when they be doing guest picks on the game and stuff like that, they go, oh, shoot, is that okay, CD?
That's Turpin.
Oh no, that's CD.
Yeah, CD. So next up, of course, the Chiefs are facing off against the Panthers in Carolina. CC, who you got?
I got the Chiefs. I got the Chiefs who already scored in that game, man. It didn't take them long. A minute and a half. They just scored already.
Already? Are you serious?
Yeah.
What was it, a run or pass?
A minute and a half. They just scored already.
Pass.
Okay.
Mahomes to great, baby. Mahomes to great.
Okay.
Gray is quickly becoming his target. Go. Who you got?
I'm picking the Chiefs. That L for the Chiefs last week was major for them. So now they didn't got that little chip off their shoulder. hey, look for the Chiefs to might to try and run the table now because they ain't got that little chip off their shoulder now. And so
they can potentially lose 3 games. I looked at their Buffalo. Theirs and Buffalo's. They both can potentially lose 3 games. 3 of the last 4.
Potentially lost 3 games before too, but they didn't.
No, I'm saying 3 of the last 4. I'm saying they can go. They can finish with what's that 4? 13-4.
They haven't played the Chargers yet, have they?
No, they have. They still got games against Chargers. They got games against Pittsburgh, and it's a game against someone else. That's potentially so. But they still play.
They're gonna take an L against the Chargers.
Next up, the Titan in the early window, the Titans facing off against the Texans in Houston. Coach, who you got?
Man, I gotta go with the Texans in that one. The Titans ain't showing nothing this year. The Texans are the better team. That's just plain and simple. They no matter who hurt on the Texans,
and they at home.
They the better team.
Yeah, and Houston at home.
Yeah, they at home.
So far, we all on agreement except for one game. That's the Dallas Cowboy game. But I'm very sure the second part.
Interesting these 3 o'clock games.
Yeah, these 3 o'clock games. First up in the 3 o'clock games, the Denver Broncos and
Who you pick for that Texans and Titans game?
Houston.
Oh, okay.
Houston. I'm sorry. Next up, Broncos and Raiders. First off, the 6-5 Broncos with 3-3, and when they're away against the Raiders, who are 2-8 on the year, 1-3 at home. Coach, Raiders, Broncos, who you got?
Broncos, Bo Nix. I'm riding with Bo Nix and estimate again, man.
Ooh, they got it.
I think they just a better team than the Raiders. Man, what are they doing? I actually feel bad for Pierce. I thought Antonio Pierce was going to have a better coaching experience in his first year being a full-time coach.
Go Broncos, Denver. Broncos, Raiders.
Give me the Broncos. Give me the Broncos. I'm gonna take the Broncos. Bo Nix, Raiders just ain't it. We already talked about sending Daniel Jones over there to the Raiders, so we know the Raiders is hurt right now. So I'm gonna take the Broncos and Bo Nix.
I'm in agreement. Broncos on this one. I mean, until the Raiders can show something different, you have no choice. And Broncos have shown differently in state. Next up, Coach, the Cardinals and the Seahawks. 6-4 is a rivalry game. It's saying
it's a battle for first in that division too.
It is.
It sure is. It is a battle
for first in that division, man. That's gonna be tough, man. But you know what? I'm gonna stick to my guns on this one, and I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks to pull this out against the Cardinals. I'm going with Seattle.
Okay. Go does Taylor
no who you got? Who you got, Trey?
I am taking the Cardinals in this one. I think the Cardinals. I think it was just a circumstance. Like I said, Seahawks should have lost last week. Bosa went down. They was able to capitalize on that. But I think the Cardinals are going to be able to keep pushing this line and going to be able to hold on to the number 1 seed in the division one more week. So yeah, I'm going with the Cardinals.
Yeah, let me get the Cardinals as well. I'm gonna take the Cardinals. I gotta go. Come on, man. I gotta go with Kyler Murray. Kyler's that man. I gotta go with Kyler. I gotta go with Kyler Murray.
Next up, the Rams and the Eagles. Rams hosting the Eagles this week. 3-2 at home.
They blocked it. They blocked the kick.
8-2, 4-1 coming in on the way. Coach, Rams, Eagles, who you got?
Rams, Eagles. Man. I hate to do it, man. I really don't like them people in green, but I'm gonna take the Eagles in this one because I think the Rams are just too up and down for me, man. They're too up and down right now.
He done back the.
You don't know which Rams team's gonna show up.
True that. So in this one, of course, I step and go the Eagles. I'm taking the Eagles as well. Of course, you got to take in consideration. I can't pick expect too many teams from the NFC West to win because I still have to take into consideration what the 49ers situation is. And if, of course, with the possibility of the 49ers losing today, then that will be a whole game in which they will be that all these teams will be ahead, or at least two of them are going to be ahead. Potentially one can be a 2 games ahead. I'm going with the Eagles as well. I'm very sure I don't have to ask, but I will anyway.
You don't. You don't even mad. You see what I got on. Don't even mad. You already know what it is, partner. Don't even mad. It's written all over your chest.
So far, only 2 games are separating for the most part. Next up, the San Francisco 49ers facing off in the on Lambeau in Green Bay. 2-2 away games.
Who you got, Trey?
Who you got, Trey? Yeah. Who you got, Trey? Yeah. Who you got, Trey? Yeah, CC. You like me? Who you got, Trey? Yeah. It ain't fun. Hey, what you say? It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
For real, who you got?
Yeah, who you got, Trey?
No Bolsa.
Yeah, who you got, Trey?
Maybe.
Is you a fair weather friend? Let's go. I love it. Let's go. It ain't taking you that damn. Let's go, Trey. What's taking you so damn long? Any other time? Oh, Niner game. What is it? Niner game.
Oh, bang,
Niner game. Bang, Niner game. What's taking it so long? What is it? It ain't the bang today. What is it? Puff.
Never.
What is it today? Come on, bang.
I'm taking San Francisco.
Oh, okay. That's what I like to see, man. Stay with your squad, bro.
Right.
Stay with your squad. I like that.
I applaud that. For a minute, I was gonna say,
only because I think there's an inkling of an opportunity for them to win. If I didn't, I would go with Green Bay with no remorse, without even thinking. But I think they have an opportunity. I mean, they still have some of the Christian McCaffrey's still there. You got Mason that's still there, even though he's not getting burned. But that could be.
I just don't know this Allen guy at quarterback.
Me either.
He's all right. You know what I'm saying? He's all right. And then first we know we got. Huh?
Where did he come from? Who is he? Where did he come from? Yeah, where is he from?
He was on. Whose roster was he on? He was on.
Oh shit!
When I think about it, they let Darnold walk.
Oh, they hurt.
Who was his Allen?
Robinson.
I'm taking Green Bay.
I'm taking
Green Bay.
I'm taking Green Bay too. I'm taking. I got love for the Packers. Let's go.
All right, of course. Then the Monday night game. The
No,
Ravens and the Chargers.
Oh yeah, Monday night. You're right.
Monday night game would be the Ravens and the Chargers. Both teams technically the same because the Chargers haven't had the Ravens haven't had their bye week yet. Ravens 7-4 on the year, 7-3 for the Chargers. The Chargers are hosting 4-1 at home. The Ravens are 3-3.
The Hardballs, the
3 for the Chargers. I'm trying to tell you this.
The Harbaugh brothers face each other once again.
Monday night.
Since the other Harbaughs come back into the league, this is the first time they face themselves and face one another in 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm. Since playing in the Super Bowl.
In the Super Bowl, yep.
So does the elder
older brother? Yeah, does the older brother win or the younger brother? I don't know. Younger brother is Ravens. Older brother is Chargers.
CC, who you got? Chargers, Ravens.
Man, and this one I'm going with Jim. It's a regular season game. I'm going with the Chargers to win this game. If it was postseason, I gotta go John. But right now it's regular season. Jim gonna get it. Jim gonna get him in this game.
Yeah. It's hard for me. I'm gonna be honest, because Jim is just now getting back into the NFL, and John is still, has been in there since Jim left and came back. I feel like John has a better talent of players though than Jim. But I'm gonna give it to the older brother. I think I'm gonna take Jim to get the dub in the Chargers.
So that's where, of course, another one which we split. I'm going with Baltimore on this one. I just continue to think, although we are seeing Justin Herbert has been able to do it, the defense has been ratcheting it up a little bit for the for the Los Angeles Chargers. But I still think that Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry and I can't say well from them alone are going to be a problem. But I don't know. Like I said, he might John might find a way to exploit that lackluster defense in for Baltimore and might figure it out. But I'm going to err on the caution. Even though I'm a big defense guy, I'm going to err on the side of caution with the offense being more effective and the Ravens being able to pull that one out. So for the most part,
shout out to Derwin James on the Jack. His name Derwin James or whatever for the Chargers, man. Shout out,
for the
man.
Chargers,
That
he's a
kid
difference
turned
maker.
this game around. Lot less penalties and more clean play from him now. I like Harbaugh clean that up, and you see how much of a talent he is. You're gonna be talking about him in the next few years in that secondary, doing things in that secondary for the Chargers or whatever team. And the Chargers have the number one defense. People not even looking at that. They just snuck in somehow, and Jim Harbaugh has the number one defense. Khalil Mack didn't even play last week, and they were still pretty good on the side of the ball. I just think they got a better defense right now, and I think the Ravens have struggled against teams with good defenses. They four losses have come to pretty much 3 of their 4 losses came to teams with good defenses. So I think they struggle against good defense.
So y'all see that, we know what it is. Y'all see this opportunity. Well, it's an opportunity for CC to make up the ground, kind of somewhat. Depending on what happened with the San Francisco, the Baltimore game, will determine if Bishop can make up the ground. So if it, like I said, for the most part, at minimum, I dropped 2 maybe this week, which still keeps me ahead at least by 1 game, depending on and so I just have to come back and run it back. So in any case,
okay, so this is what I'm saying right here, fellas. Before we get out of here, look, I'm gonna say this. After this week, we're gonna see where we at because I was talking before the show. I'm like, man, somehow when I have a great week, Bishop, somehow Trey still win the week. I'm not understanding the math, but
that's why it's recorded.
After this week, I'm going against all y'all.
That's why. Don't worry. I feel you too, CC. I'm gonna have to check some of these recordings, man, because I feel you too. I'm like, ain't no way in hell he done jumped up that high above me, and like I done had like a negative win streak. I've never had a negative win streak.
So your picking for last week helped me for the most part, and then I've had consecutive double digit wins. I mean, yes, but I'm saying lately I have, in which you have been like, or I have just edged you out. So I was like, because remember when after I picked the perfect game, the perfect week, that put me ahead of you. But then I had a bad week.
No, that tied you with me.
No, it put me ahead by 1. But then I had a bad week the next week, and you came back and had a good week. So then the next week after that, it was like I was like been inching forward, and so that's what happened. So this week, in which we was going back and forth, like I was 1 ahead, you was a 1 ahead, but this week you got those 5 losses, and that just basically opened. So now that's why I'm 3 ahead.
Okay.
So, but we'll see. Of course,
don't worry. CC, I'm with you, bro. I'm gonna definitely. I'm gonna do some research. I'm gonna definitely do some research.
I never definitely gonna do some research because that takes away diminishes the fact of what I do. So what did I say? So we know the early games next week is saying Gobble Gobble Day coming up.
Oh yeah, we do.
Are we doing a show early Thursday?
We can. I don't see a problem with it.
Yeah, we can. Thursday morning.
Like to look at the time to work like that. So I should be.
What time next week? Let me see.
What's the first game start next week?
11:30.
11, right? 11:30.
Our time. 11:30 our time.
9 o'clock. A 9 o'clock show. Thursday morning. We put the Thursday games and the Friday game, Black Friday game.
Because we got 11:30 on Thursday, a 3:30 on Thursday, a 7:20 on Thursday. And then that's all. There's 3. Those are the 3 games on Thursday.
And then the Black Friday game.
Then you got a Black Friday game between Kansas City and the Raiders, and then the rest of them on Sunday.
Okay, so we'll be back, of course, on Thursday morning, Thanksgiving morning. Say happy holidays, just that season. We'll be back on Thursday morning to talk about those 3 games, make the picture of those 3 games and Black Friday, and then come back on the 1st and make a selection for that week and see where we at. So that's for week 13. Y'all be sure to tap in with us come Thursday morning, just before y'all while y'all up cooking. Tune us in. Turn us up, coach. Put us in while y'all cooking.
Yeah,
and we might have some other stuff for that morning as well as some other stuff like I probably cook up to where we can figure that to make it a little more interesting just to hear. So content is the reason for the season, and y'all know where it is. Be sure to check out y'all games. I'm gonna see some of this. Check out some see what this wicket is about. And then we'll be back to talk about it. Until then, it's myself, Bishop the GOAT, CC's the people's coach. And we said, oh, you know what? Be sure, right? Before I get out here, usually I put it up, but I couldn't find my graphic. We still have the raffle going on. There's still an opportunity to get it in. That won't be picked till Sunday afternoon. Hey, shoot myself or Bishop $10 and be like, hey, put this in, donate this. And so you get an opportunity to win one of 3 prizes, that being even a 75-inch television, a 900-watt generator, or a 5.1 Dolby surround sound system. Or if you're lucky, run away with all 3. You know what? If someone was to win all 3 that I know of, and they sit up and win all 3 and hit me up, I have a special prize that I want to throw in for them. So that's anybody that is able, if someone is lucky enough to win all 3 prizes, I have a special prize that I want to put into the pot as well. So, hey, only way to find out what it is go ahead and put it as minimum as
ticket jet, CC.
As minimum as
$10.
No,
but we finna do this right now. As soon as we off this show,
yeah,
I'm finna hit.
So So as minimum as $10 can get you entered to win one of 3 prizes, or I mean one or all prizes, depending on what your looks like. $25 to get you 3 tickets, and so on and so forth. It goes towards a good a thing in which it helps us to benefit Soldiers Angels, to help to get them make it able so they're able to contribute for the season, helping our soldiers. So it's a veteran-based organization all across the United States, in which they'll be able to help out. So help out with a good cause. But until then, we'll see y'all again on Thursday morning. As I continue to lead on me being victorious.
I don't know about all that, but anywho, I mean,
all right, people, have a good one.
Yeah, all right. Hey, y'all be easy, man. Profile.